Scotland. The Glasgow City Council wants to modernise the transport infrastructure. With your transport company, you're as good as predestined for this sort of contract. The shipyards on the Firth of Clyde have been famous for their sturdy boats for quite some time. New processes for the mass production of high-quality steel are now opening up previously undreamt-of possibilities. A member of the City Council recently proposed to you during a pheasant hunt whether you'd like to supply his friends in the shipbuilding industry with this essential material. Coal and iron are available in abundance in the areas around Glasgow. Off to the blast furnace with them.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. My name is Box of Demons, and what's this on screen, you may say? This is not a tactical shooter, this is not a combat simulation game, but no, I've actually been enjoying some games that have been in my Steam library for a while, and I just haven't gotten around to actually playing them. And when I actually started to play this Transport Fever 2, I actually got really addicted to it. It's one of those games where it's like, is this any good? Started playing it for a little bit, got to about 10 o'clock at night, and I thought, you know what, I want to play a little bit more. I really like it. This. I like the thinking man's strategy aspect to it. And lo and behold, I thought I might share some videos with you. I'm probably going to do 5 videos of a few games that you probably wouldn't expect me to be playing here on the channel. And this is going to be the first one. So we have to deliver coal from the coal yard and iron from here, and we have to get this into the steelworks here in Glasgow. So this is our first mission. So what we need to do initially is, I think, as we plan this a little bit, is we could probably do with one train line that comes down this way directly, and that train can just constantly go back and forth. And then when it comes down to here, down in the coal mine, we'll probably get a train track that comes around and sweeps in, and we'll get that as a single lane as well. So let's start off down here at the ore mine. We can leave it on play, so we've got a bit of interest as we're playing. So the first thing we're going to do is come down here to our buildings, and we are going to build I think it's probably going to be a cargo station. So let's get that down and rotate it round, and we need these connections at the back here. And while money's not too much of an issue at this stage in the level, down at the bottom left you can see we've got nearly 50 million here. I'm going to play this a little bit. 189. Right, so there's our first cargo station, and obviously once the train comes down here down to the main line, we are going to need a cargo station down here at the ironworks as well. So let's get another one in. Get another one in here, and it looks like 200 grand, 198. It's around here somewhere. In fact, what I might do as well is to give this one a little bit more room to maneuver around. I might put it further down on this side. It's going to cost us more as we dig into the hill, but I think that should be okay for now. So now we need to build in fact, actually, we're jumping ahead here a little bit. We're going to have to put in a third one again. We're going to have to put a third one in down here as well for these guys down here to be able to get the coal out. So look, 230, 225. We'll get you in there. So now we've got the 3 terminuses in here. As you can see, the map is absolutely beautiful in this game. Some really fantastic locations, and it does go up to modern day as well as we go to aircraft and logistics trains, high-speed rails, and we're actually in the 1800s at the minute, so we're not going to be doing anything too technologically advanced. But right, it's time to start laying the tracks. So let's get in here and come to the tracks, pick our tracks here. And let's have a look. We want a fairly straight line, because the straighter the line is, the cheaper it will be. And as you can see, that's starting to curve a little bit. I'm just aware that we want to, possibly if we get other lines at other places, we want to keep this fairly neat and tidy. And as you can see, it will automatically carve into the hill, and that's going to cost us a little bit more as it does that. But, that's part of it. And so now we need a train track that is going to come round here in order to be able to drop off the coal. So if we snap this on there, oops, let's just cancel that. I made a little bit of a boo-boo there. Where is the actual train line? Is there we go. So what happens is I'm going to come around here slightly, and I'm then going to loop it back round and see if we can get a joining track in here. Let's have a look. How much can we take that back by? We need to actually come out. Actually, this is no good. I want to come out a little bit further because we can't turn into the station that sharp. So we may have boo-booed a little bit here. And then let's loop. Can we loop that round? It's probably just about there. So there we go. There's our second line down now. So as you can see here, this is going to be our coal line. And up here we have the Glasgow iron ore. So now that we have these train tracks down and we're all happy with that, I'm quite pleased with that so far. That's looking good. Now we need to set the actual lines. So we're going to create a new line here. This is going to be line 1, and this is going to be our, was it the ore line? So we're going to go from Fort William to there. So it's Fort William down to Glasgow. And before we continue on with that, let me just double check. This is the iron ore line. So what we're going to do is I'm going to change this actually to orange because that's the color of the iron ore, and we're going to call this the iron ore line. So that is our iron ore. If I can get my teeth back, you know, I always have trouble on these videos. And this one, of course, is the coal mine. So we're going to create a new line here again. We're going to go straight from Glasgow North, and we're going to come back to Glasgow here at the steel factory, and this is going to be our coal line. So we're going to be calling this coal line. It's hard to describe how much I've actually been really enjoying this, and the further you get in, the more complicated it gets. You have to start planning with signals and all these sort of things, which brings me on nicely. Before we get our trains actually delivering, we are going to need a couple of signal boxes here. Because as this train comes around and comes in towards this, we don't want this train then entering this block. So what we'll do is we'll come down here, we'll put some of these signal boxes in, and we only really need one here and one on this side. So what we've done there is we've basically said that if this train comes along and this train is within this block, which they call blocks in railways, it won't enter. Oh, that's the idea anyway. So there we go. We've got everything set up. We now need to start getting our actual trains in. And our mission was, what was it? Just to produce steel, I think it was. We've got no actual standards for how much we have to create here. And I'm not going to bother with the bonus tasks. It's usually just run around the map looking for little things. It doesn't really add to the game. So here we go. It's time for us to start buying some actual trains. Well, of course, I forgot the absolute most obvious thing. I've been playing this game forever, and because I'm doing the video, my mind's not actually thinking properly. These are the actual stations with the lines, but we need to put in, down here, we need to put in a train depot, which is where the trains will actually be held. Now, because we initially want our trains to come down towards the steelworks, we're going to put them on this side. We're going to get them here on this tree line, quite close to the track, I think. I don't think we need to worry too much. Like so. And then all we need to do is connect this up to the actual line on the tracks. Bring that in. And there we go. Now we've got a nice sweeping line here into the actual track. And this, see, it's been a while, is how we are actually going to buy our trains. So as we zoom out a little bit here, everything is set up. So for our iron ore line, we are going to buy a train. And because this is cargo, we need to make sure that the actual carriage cars that we pick is actually for the coal and the iron, and not for the iron girders or the steel girders, the one we actually get in there. So we have a choice here. It gives us the power. They're all steam engines, by the way, at this particular year. It gives us how much they need to run. We can change the colours, loading speed, emission, weight, lifespan, etc. Now, this early in the game, we really don't need to worry so much about mechanics and getting things fixed. But we're probably going to go for, let's go for something nice. Let's have a look. Emissions 80. power 200. Let's go for, we'll go for one of these. And then we'll go for the actual wagons, which is cargo. As you can see, this has only got whiskey and fish, steel. So this is the one we actually need here. So we're going to add on, let's add 4. So there we go, we've got 4 carriages, and we're going to buy that for 1,190,000. So there's our train. And we're actually going to dupe it up, which is this button here. So if I click this one here, we can clone. So now we've got two exactly the same trains down here. And what we can also do, I think, is we can change the colors on here. And we will be renaming these trains as well once we actually get in. So we're going to be adding train 1. We are going to be putting you on the coal line. And train 2, you are going to be on the iron ore line. So as we come out of here, let me press play, which we have already got on. You will see the trains actually starting to come out already. So this is train 1 on the coal line. So we're going to rename this as coal train. So that is our coal train, and that's how much profit so far we're actually losing. So that's our first train. And the second train in here won't leave this block until we get past this signal block. He says, we're soon going to find out if we've done this correctly. Through the smoke. Come on, don't let me down. So obviously at this stage, that first train has gone straight in. It's actually picked nothing up because that train is going to be picking up from here. So if that train gets to these signals before this one, we shall see whether this is all going to work out. In fact, I think we've actually messed up, lads. We've messed up a little bit. We need to quickly get another one in there. That may be too late. It's too late. Oh, we've just got away with it. We have just got away with it. Yeah, because of course this is the coal train. And he's had to do an emergency turn down there to miss it, because I think we actually got that signal in a little bit too late. And what we can do is we can double check that we've actually got this right on the actual lines. This is the coal line, so it goes from, yeah, 1 to 2. This is correct. And our train down here, which is the iron ore train. Now this train is going to come straight back here, pick up the iron ore, then it's going to go back. Well, that's the idea anyway. And as this train actually is the coal train, which is grey, I think if we click this, I believe we can make it, well, a coalish colour. That's fairly coalish, I think. I think that's changed the colours of it. And our train over here, as you are, we're going to make you orange. Let's get in here and make you orange. So now we know that that orange train with the orange, you're purely here for the iron ore. So that train now should hopefully get here. And as you can see, the iron ore mill here has actually already produced this ready for us to pick up. And what we can also do, actually, I think it's on the line manager, we can tell it that we don't want you to leave until you are full. You can see it's full up of the goods here at Fort William, and that train is now going to head back, and we can click on here, get ourselves a little bit of a view here of this beautiful train. Really it's hard to describe why I find this game enjoyable. It's not my sort of game at all, but maybe you kind of don't know what sort of games you're going to enjoy until you actually start playing them. And well, this may look complicated a little bit. It's not once you've done it a couple of times. And you also may be thinking, well, there's not much challenge here, but later on as you get further into the game, it really does get more complex, as you will be delivering goods, say, down here, and then that will have to go somewhere else, and then that needs shipping over the islands here. Like, say, whiskey, that will have to come back to Fort William, and so on, so on, so on, so on. Of course, you've then got to start thinking about your finances and creating bridges and things like that. And as you can see, our signals are working perfectly here. As we wait here at the signals, we are waiting for the coal train to fill up down there, drop its coal off at the steelworks, and I'm hoping that that now, if we haven't messed it up. Why are you not going back? Let's just have a quick look at the coal line. So we're at Glasgow. I think that's because, yeah, I'd left it saying that you needed to fill up again. You don't. You need to come back. Let's get ourselves a cinematic, beautiful angle here. It needs to come back and fill up. This game is really quite beautiful. And there we go. There's our coal train on the way back down to the coal yard. Let's pick up some more coal, leaving us free now to get our iron ore here. Here are the steelworks. Beautiful. I actually can't wait until we get into the logistics aspect, because there's a whole modding community. You've got your Leyland trucks. It's basically like Truck Simulator, but in the third person kind of view. So we are producing now, and we probably will get an achievement, or we will say that this is going to be complete soon, I'm hoping, once the mill starts producing steel. If we have a look at here, it's not actually producing as yet because it needs 2 loads of ore and 2 coal in order to actually make the steel girders, so it's not producing quite yet. It definitely needs more coal, so whether it's not actually receiving enough coal at this stage, let's just head down and have a look at what's happening with our train here. What's actually happening here? Maybe the actual mine isn't producing enough here. Have you actually got any coal on you? Let's have a look. Capacity of 16. Doesn't look like it's actually got any. It's quite interesting. Are we attached? That is the question. Now, is this actually attached? That is my worry. And if this isn't actually filling up with coal, what we can do is we can click on this train, and I'm going to send this back to the depot. Unable to find the path. That is probably because there is another train on the line. I think that will be why. Unable to find a path stop. What is going on with you, mister? We got any alerts? No, I think it must be because the other train is on the line. Maybe it's because it's too much of a risk while that train is in that block. Possibly, although really this train here should come round into the depot. Let's reverse you and send you to the depot. That's fine, that's fine. It will, when it gets to this stage here, when we send it back, it will go back. I'm not sure why you're not filling up with coal. I am wondering whether this is not quite touching. So what we'll have to do here is we will demolish this and we will reset it. So we come into buildings, cargo station. May have possibly not been touching. We will get this back in again like so, and then we'll just have to reattach, hopefully, if we can. It's going to be too sharp. Getting ourselves into a world of trouble here, down on the railways. Just like the railways in the UK, I guess. So let's just see if we can now attach that. There we go. That, hopefully, will enable us. So let me just get you and reverse you back. And let's see whether you're actually going to pick some of the coal up here. I don't know, it does look like it's attached, so I'm not quite sure what was going on there. In fact, if anything, it feels like the actual mine here isn't producing much coal. I'm not seeing much stock down here. Although there is some down at this far end, so let's just see what happens. Let's just speed it up a little bit. And see if our coal train actually becomes a coal train. So as you can see, they've got plenty of coal that they're producing now. There we go. it was my mistake. We actually hadn't attached this up to the main road. So this now means that the steel factory will start being able to produce some actual steel, and then we shall be able to move on. If you'd like me to play some more of this game, do let me know. I know it's something different for the channel, and a lot of my subscribers kind of like the military games that we play, but you know, there's not a lot happening really out there. My attack-off videos were very unsuccessful. You guys weren't really interested in those at all. DayZ videos, well, there's a lot of JLK. There's some of the, you know, the big guys out there all using the admin cans and getting all the action stuff. And my footage was always just real, and it takes hours and hours and hours and hours of footage in order to be able to find anything that's really half decent. So until the DayZ expansion comes out, I really don't feel like I can bring anything new to the table. So playing some of these other games is it's a nice bit of fresh air, I think. It certainly is for me anyway. So if you'd like me to play some more, smash that like button. It really does help me get a few more views, and it really keeps my enthusiasm up. I really need a little bit of I'm a little bit down in the dumps at the minute. I've got a lot of things going on at work and just in life in general, and it's just nice to get a bit of friendly feedback and appreciation for a hobby that we do here, creating videos on YouTube. So as the next train comes in and drops coal off here, hopefully we should see some smoke coming out of the steelworks here, meaning that we're finally producing some steel girders. Although we are going to be behind now on our coal production, unfortunately. Yes, all we have to do is start producing, so we may actually get this achievement once this train comes in. Are we going to see the steelworks come into life? Let's find out as our coal train comes into the station.
The shipyards crave steel for colossal tubs. The bigger the better. But it doesn't get there all by itself.
So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I shall leave you with a little snippet of what we will be doing in the next video. We actually need to deliver 10 steel from this factory up to the town of Glasgow here. And as you can see, it is really quite beautifully detailed. It's a little bit like Anno, and you can get right down here on the streets and see the vehicles from the time period, the clothing and everything else. And as I mentioned, I can't wait till we get into the proper logistics with high-speed trains and the modern day, including jumbo jets and things like that. So if you've enjoyed this video and you'd like me to do another part as we head up towards Glasgow, thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, and leave me some friendly feedback, something nice, cheer me up a little bit, and I shall chuff off and see you in another video coming real soon. Thanks for watching. I've been Box of Demons here down on the railway.